So you wanna make some Chipotle guacamole at home. In this video, I wanna share with you how to do that, and it'll be a lot cheaper than having to go there. Welcome to DadBod Fitness. If you and I are just meeting, my name is David. And if you're a parent or especially a dad looking to stay fit and to build some muscle, you'll find great tips and great strategies on this channel for helping you to reach your fitness goals. I want to inspire your change. I want to motivate your transformation. And ultimately, I want to help you share that adventure with your family. So if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. Let's jump into the recipe. Guacamole is truly one of my favorite bodybuilding recipes, and avocados are vital and an essential whole food that you should definitely be including in your bodybuilding nutrition. So we're not just gonna make any plain old ordinary guacamole. This is gonna be Chipotle style, but even better. All right, so what you're gonna want for this recipe is a good cutting board, good cutting knife, a nice spatula. I typically just use one bowl. I don't normally have a serving bowl, but if you're gonna be doing this for a bunch of guests, I would have a serving bowl. You're gonna want 2 ripe avocados, Haas avocados, and you really want to wait for that, just that right squishiness. You know, if you give it a slight squeeze and it gives way, it's just slightly soft. That's like perfect. You really want to get that creamy consistency. So you're also going to want a nice fresh red onion, a good fresh lime, and some nice fresh cilantro as well. And also, don't forget, you want to have some good salt. And watch a little bit later in this video, and I'll actually give you the salt that we use, which is a lot more natural and it gives you a lot more minerals. Okay, so what you're first going to want to do is obviously cut the avocados in half, take the pits out using the knife. If you get the pits stuck on the knife, what I usually use is just knock it against the bowl. And then what you're gonna wanna do is just using a spoon, scoop out the avocado, and I like to make sure I get every last little bit of avocado. Scoop it out and throw it in the bowl. Now here's my little trick of what I typically do. I keep on hand for making this recipe a pastry cutter. And what I'll do first, before anything else, once I get the avocado out of the peel into the bowl, I'm actually gonna use the pastry cutter and just start mashing it up first. So this is what I like to do to get a nice, creamy, good consistency so it's not chunky. And I found it works a lot better. A lot of people might use a fork or a spoon to chop it up and then whisk it together. The pastry cutter actually works phenomenal to do all that kind of all together. Once you have that, you're gonna wanna cut the red onion, and I usually like to dice it as fine as I can, and I'll just start cutting into chunks and then really dice it down into some really fine pieces. Some people like chunkier onions. I really prefer it to be pretty fine and mixed in. Add those then into the mix, and then you move on to your fresh cilantro. And what I really like to do is just make sure to cut off as much of the stems as I possibly can. I'll even include the stems sometimes. I mean, the flavor's still gonna be there, but for this, we'll try and get rid of those. So dice those up then, and again, I also try to get the cilantro really fine. I really work it to get it as chopped up as possible. Again, go based on the consistency that you like. Then what you want to do is get your fresh lime, and I cut that in half, and you really probably only need about a half of a lime, depending on how strong you want it. You know, some people might like it more. Squeeze half of a lime into the mixture. All right, so the next thing you're gonna wanna do is to add some salt. We actually use the Celtic sea salt. It's a lot more natural, really good. And my wife actually found this, and it's a really great option. It is a little more moist, you can see, than regular salt, so it's a little more clumpy, but still mixes in really great. It's awesome. We actually get it in this massive bag here, so I'll have a link down in the description how you can get the massive bag. It's really cost effective. So what I would do is I would actually start with somewhere between a 1/4 teaspoon to a 1/3 teaspoon of salt. I've actually already added some in. I would start with that, add a little bit more if you want a little bit more salt. Again, I usually do everything by eye. So there, we have all of our ingredients. Now we're going to stir it up. Phenomenal, smells delicious. All right, so there it is, the finished guacamole. This is phenomenal. What I want to actually show you is the type of chip that I make. So with this chip, what I actually do is make homemade chips. We go out and actually buy brown rice tortillas. So they're not made, you know, with corn or anything like that. They're a brown rice tortilla. They're a lot less processed, a lot fewer ingredients. Lay them out, cut them up into pieces. Usually cut them up into like 12 triangles with a pizza cutter. Throw them in the oven at 350 degrees for somewhere around 15 to 16 minutes. Makes a really awesome, substantial, and actually richer chip that goes really well with guacamole. Avocados are absolutely phenomenal. You really should be including them in your bodybuilding strategy. So here's just a few of the benefits of avocados. They are literally packed with vitamins and minerals. Amazing stuff. They're high in fiber and potassium, even more so than bananas. Also, they're loaded with heart-healthy monosaturated fatty acids, so they're really good to be including for that healthy fats. They're also really high in antioxidants as well. They've also been shown to actually help improve weight loss, and typically people who eat avocados have been shown in studies to be healthier. And a lot of that goes back to the fat content within the avocado. It's going to help satiate your appetite that much more than anything else. So although it's higher in calories, 9 calories per gram of fat, the satiety effect actually helps you eat less and can help you lose weight. I personally, eating guacamole at least once or twice a week, lost weight. The fat content within the avocados also has been shown that it may help you absorb the nutrients from other plant foods as well. Avocados contain something called oleic acid in them. This acid within the avocado has actually been shown to help impact brain health and memory. So a lot of people might be worried about the calories. They might tell you only eat 2 tablespoons or 3 tablespoons of avocado or guacamole. I personally, when I eat avocados, when I eat guacamole in particular, I typically eat somewhere between half a cup to 3/4 of a cup, which can range anywhere from 200 to like 270 calories. On top of that, I'm eating it with a homemade chip. So it's not low calorie. However, what I do is I just fit it into my macros. I make sure that I can still hit the fat, the number of grams of fat that I want for the day, and my calories for the day when I eat this. So I make sure that I can fit the guacamole into my calories and macros for the day. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and punch subscribe, but also click or tap the screen right up over here to check out my Nutrition for Bodybuilding Beginners playlist. It'll give you a ton of great nutrition ideas. Or click or tap the screen right up over here to check out another video that's going to give you vital strategies to help you on your fitness journey. As always, be intentional and bring the intensity, and I can't wait to see you on the next video.